How's it going, everyone? Welcome to the first episode of the PRN Sports Podcast. Uh, we The goal of this podcast is basically to get to hear the opinions of all of our wonderful sports reporters from a myriad of topics, from college football to basketball to NBA, NFL, and some Georgia State stuff thrown in between. But I'll go ahead and let our guests introduce themselves, starting with Tyrik.
Hey everybody, it's Tyrik Wynn, anchor reporter for Panther Report News for Georgia at Georgia State University. Very happy to be here. This actually takes me back to my radio show hosting days back in 2017. So I am so excited to be here, ready to talk about some sports and ready to have a good time.
All right. Krystal?
Hi, everybody. My name is Krystal White. I'm a freshman at Georgia State, and I'm a sports reporter for the news show. So I'm like Tyrik. I'm excited to talk about Georgia State athletics and NFL.
And Christian.
Hey, I'm a senior at Georgia State. Sad time. The time's almost up. But it's been fun at PRN. I'm a sports reporter. I've been doing so for 4 years now. I started with the newspaper. Now I'm over at PRN. I write for the Falcon Report, Sports Illustrated as well. So I'm ready to get this going and having fun. And by the way, Tyrik said he hosted a radio show. Keep trying to tell y'all, that's a bad man. You better get his autograph. Like, he's going to be famous for you one day. You better get the autograph. You better get it out.
Appreciate it, man.
And then my name is Jett Parker. I'm the sports director here at PRN. And that's basically it. We might as well just go ahead and get into the topics. First thing that I want to pose to you guys is talking about the college football season and what you guys think about if we are even going to have a college football season, or what you think the impact of the coronavirus might be.
I guess I'll go. I do think we'll have a season. I don't think the season will start on time. I just don't think that it'll be safe to have all the players like that. I mean, the football team has 80 guys, 90 guys, on the sideline or and it's together at one time. So they're gonna have to work out, practice. It's gonna be tough. They're definitely gonna have to get more testing readily available for players to know who has it and who doesn't. I don't know if probably won't have a vaccine at that point, but at least testing will have to be something that will have to be discussed. And the real possibility that there won't be any fans at these games when they first start. You can't fit 100,000 people, 80,000 people into a stadium and sit next to each other. One, it won't be safe. Two, who's going to really want to do it? A lot of people are going to be skeptical about sitting next to each other and being in close quarters like that. So I think when the season first starts, when it does start, whenever it does, I think it'll be played without fans. It won't be August, though. Maybe October, November, maybe even later than that. But I don't see an August start for football now.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know if they even will have a season. I don't know for sure because right now they're already talking about putting all our classes online and stuff. And so like Mark Becker said today, it's up in the air and stuff. So I could see them really canceling the season because it's April and they're already talking about putting all our classes online.
Well, this is what I think. To be honest with you, I can't imagine a life without football. So I definitely want to see it start, to be honest with you. But I think they will start it on time, and I feel like the people who are in charge of it are so determined to start it on time. So if they do start it, it most likely will be played without fans. But I can't see it not starting because that's just I would say probably America's favorite sport. So I can definitely see it starting, but it most likely will be without fans.
Yeah, and even at this point, we're still a long way from when the season would start, but that doesn't mean that teams aren't preparing or would be preparing at this time.
Yeah.
We would have, Georgia State would have already had their spring game. They would have already been, hitting the weights for probably a month or so at this point. But I'm with you guys. Mark Becker did pose a alternative that the NCAA is apparently looking into, which would be a conference schedule only season. What do you guys think about that?
I think it would be pretty competitive if they did that. I mean, I'm not sure if that's something that's ever been like done before, but I'd still be excited to watch it because everybody in the conference and stuff is going to be, still competitive, especially when, all the people in the conference are rivals. So, I could still see it being a really exciting season for football. So, I'd still tune in to watch.
Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, it is just the conference games that really matter. So,
All right. Interesting you say that, right? So, who was Georgia State's first opponent last? Who's their
okay.
Who's they supposed to open the season with next year? No, but seriously, who are they supposed to open the season with?
Murray State.
No, well, yeah, but they play Alabama next year.
Mm-hmm.
My point, and they're gonna get a lot of money from that. That money helps fund other programs at the school. So with those games being canceled, it's gonna hurt a lot of other. We may not see certain sports at Georgia State next year. The game from 10, whenever they play those big games, they get a big check from it. They fund the other programs at the school that don't really bring in revenue. So if you only have a conference season, you're not going to make as much money as you would if you had the game against Alabama or you had the other pay-to-play games. So while a conference season does sound good for the SEC and the Big Ten, the ACC, and those conferences, when it comes to the Sun Belt, it's not so fun. They're gonna have a hard time making money with just the conference season. These schools really rely on those games because while they report this attendance for these games, we all know the attendance that are reported at Sun Belt games are tickets sold, not really tickets, not actual attendance. So that hurts money that's in the stadium. People spending on beer, people spending on food, whatever, what have you, and even the surrounding community. Georgia State has a whole district now that's building up around the stadium. With less games now, with no Murray State game, how is that going to affect the economy in the area as well? So, but that would be like a pretty big game. They didn't play the Murray State game. It's going to be a Saturday night. It's going to be sold out. People are going to be all liquid.
Home opener is always big.
Yeah, so I don't know. The home openers, like the conference only sounds like a good idea, but in reality, it really is not the best.
Well, you bring up a good point with what it means for smaller schools because while Georgia State isn't a small school, it's a smaller athletic school. So I believe it was every single Group 5 conference wrote a letter to the NCAA asking that they minimize the penalties for whether it be home attendance or any sort of thing like that. So it's interesting to think how these schools that can't fall back on the multi-million-dollar television rights contracts, what they have to go through.
Yeah, and Georgia State, I guess they have a deal with the ESPN3, who does their television stuff. But that's going to be where the money really, the NCAA could try to get some of the money back by these large endorsement deals because people don't have a choice but to watch on TV, so they can just charge a lot for advertisement. But that's going to have to be the plan for right now. But no one's going to be allowed in, so they're going to lose a lot of money that way. So I can see. They're going to have a season because they're not going to lose the money.
Yeah.
And kind of pivoting here, there's speculation that even the NFL might be postponing at the very least their season, if not, in talks of canceling that as well. And, just thinking about the not only social impact of the NFL, but the economic impact of what a canceled NFL season might be. What are you guys' opinions on that?
To be honest, I don't think they'll cancel the season. They probably push it back to like early October or mid-October because they got, like you said, they got to make money and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see them like canceling the season. They're gonna play with no fans for sure. I definitely see that happen.
Well, I know this. I want to see the NFL season go on. Definitely, because I'm a huge NFL fan. And I mean, I like to see NFL football. And like last year, I actually had the pleasure of going to the Hall of Fame game. And that's going to be in early August. And, we're almost in May now. So, I mean, I don't know what it's going to look like by then, but I'm looking forward to going to that game. Like I went last year, and then I just look forward to, I mean, it's going to be kind of different the way things are going to be played out and the way everything's going to look and stuff. But I can't see NFL not starting on time. And then they're finding ways to make the draft happen online and stuff. And I was a little devastated because I got credentials to the draft in Vegas. So I was excited to go, and now I can't go.
Yeah, man. I was going to try and go to Vegas too. So I was at the draft last year in Nashville. So
that's cool.
Pretty disappointing. Yeah. But I will say, you think the NFL is going to miss out on money?
Yeah, they too great. They great.
They're going to have a season. Come hell or high water, the NFL will have a season. You can count on it. Well, Roger Goodell is not missing any money, so that will have a season.
I mean, look at the NCAA, though. I mean, you talk about in the NCAA, you talk about a money-making organization. Who would have ever thought that they would be the ones to cancel March Madness?
Well, I think they felt pressure to cancel March Madness after the NBA canceled their season. Because after the NBA canceled their season, everybody just started cancel. So,
after that, it was kind of like a ripple effect.
They had no choice, I think. I mean, they were facing a lot of pressure. Which is why they held off canceling for so long. But how could you really do it? If you were to look at it, Rudy Gobert shut the entire sports world down.
He did.
To be honest, he got infected with the coronavirus, and then the NBA stopped the season, and everyone else stopped their season, soon after. So they had no choice but to cancel the NCAA tournament. You couldn't risk any of the players getting. They even played a game. I think the NBA was shut down maybe on a Wednesday, and a Thursday, they were playing conference championship games for the Big East. They played a half. It was Crittenden and St. John's. They played a half, and then they shut it down. But they had to, because there was too much pressure from people to shut it down. You can't have your players out there. You can't have media members, team personnel out there risking getting sick over this. No matter how much money is on the line, people's lives are more important. So if you play these games and people lose their lives, the backlash from that will be way worse than the money you lose.
Yeah. And kind of a sidebar here. One of the most surreal moments, I guess, for me and, my entire life, I feel, was we had just got done with the State versus Southern basketball game. Mm-hmm. We were at the press conference, they were asking the coach, what are you going to do about, if there's no fans or whatever. And then everyone got the notification, which felt like at the same time that the NBA season had been canceled. And it was time stopped in that sports arena. So I think I don't think Tyrik was there, but
I was with you when you got the news. You were so shocked.
But
oh my god.
But yeah, so. But anyway, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, or if you guys just want to move on.
What, the Georgia State event?
NBA?
Or just any other things you guys want to say.
Well, I have a question for y'all. Do y'all really think the NBA is going to resume their season? Because to be honest, I feel like they're just going to call the whole thing off.
I don't know. I mean, I think there's a chance. I do. But they don't have to do it now. They can wait they can wait as long as they want. They can reach just to the season. So I do think the NBA will come back around. At the end of the day, like I keep saying, this is about money. They're not going to lose out on money they've already lost out on. They're this is the world. Money makes the world go round. These teams want their money. They were saying today that what was it, 25% of the money was going to be players' checks going to be withheld.
Yeah.
They've already lost so much money now. They're going to get whatever they can. They have to put these 16 teams. The regular season's over with, so you can forget about that. But no, seriously, the regular season's over. So they're going to take the top 16 teams, or they might even do that. But at the very least, the top 16 teams will get to play in Vegas, sequestered in a hotel. They'll have testing, have everything they need. They'll be locked up for the time being, and they'll play it out that way. No fans, maybe media members, probably not though, but definitely gonna. I mean, that's the only really logical, the only realistic explanation. Because like, you can't expect anyone to go and play in our hometown and fly back and forth and travel. 'Cause that's too much.
Yeah.
You can risk people getting the virus again. So I do think it'll happen at some point, maybe late July, August. Because they have what else? What else? Time is on their side at this point. What else? What's gonna mess them up? They start their next season later, and then they'll just have to like squeeze that in to make it, the schedule back normal, and then they'll go back to normal. So I think it'll be okay.
All right. So kind of switching gears here, something a little bit lighter. The Atlanta Falcons, our very own hometown team, introduced new uniforms for the first time in 17 years. And okay, by the sound of some giggles, I'm assuming we have some opinions on that.
Oh yeah, very strong opinions on that. Okay, first of all, well, y'all already know how I feel about Atlanta. But to be honest with you, first of all, you need to be winning some games before you get some new uniforms. I mean, like, no, like for real, like if I was an organization, right, I'd rather have uniforms that I'm still wearing from the 1960s with rings than looking good on the field with no rings. I mean, it don't make sense to me. So I mean, like, you can release new uniforms. You can get a new stadium, but at the end of the day, it don't change your playing ability. And the playing ability, it stinks. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It stinks.
Right.
Like, I mean, and then I feel like, after what happened in that Super Bowl, y'all already know what happened. After what happened in that Super Bowl, you can't turn around and get no new uniforms. I mean, it just doesn't work out like that. So, Arthur need to just sit down somewhere and focus on, who need to be on, as far as coaching staff and all that. He need to focus on that rather than looking good on the field. I mean, you can look beautiful on the field all day, but your playing ability doesn't, the uniform doesn't make the player. It's about playing abilities. So they need to get that playing ability up, and then maybe we can look at some new uniforms. But how much are those uniforms? Are they still $100 or they went up?
Oh, I'm sure.
I think they released something today that I have to look at it, but they're actually selling really well. But they're actually selling it really well, so that's a start. I will say, Tyrik, okay, so there's 2 points to this. So Terrence Moore, from my mentor at the AJC, he used to work for the AJC, not for did say in the video this week for SI Falcons, he did say classic teams don't change their jerseys. Yankees, Cowboys, Alabama, jerseys all stay the same. I will agree with that. However, there was also a saying, if you look good, you're going to play good.
I mean, well, hold on. Let me say this. So look, back in like 2 years ago, I played baseball. But I sucked. I sat the bench, and I was looking I put on my uniform. I was looking good and everything. But
okay, but that's different, bro. You just can't play. You can't play. That's totally different. You can't play. You can't play, bro. But you can have talent. I mean, they have talent. They're not the best. They have talent. Look good. You feel good. You play good. So that's it. However, to be completely honest with you, it looks like they handed InDesign to a high schooler and say, here, draw something up. We'll do it. That's what these jerseys look like. That ATL is too big.
It is.
The jerseys look like they're 3D. Yeah, it looks like a 4-year-old colored them. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
What was up with that gradient, the red and black? Awful. Terrible. Get rid of it.
Yeah.
Do away with it. Seriously.
I was thinking.
Besides that, I don't think the jerseys have anything to do with their on-field play. Are inept, but that's a different story. I don't like the jerseys, but I mean,
I feel like it looks similar to the last
selling,
one. It's just the ATL that's big.
Yeah, the ATL is pretty big. I wasn't a fan of it. But I mean, if they're selling and people like it, why not?
They need to stop buying into that stuff. I ain't buying nothing. I'm not purchasing nothing until I see a ring. And until I see a ring, then I may invest. But other than that, I'm not buying nothing.
You're gonna be waiting a long time. Waiting a long time. But I'm gonna tell you, man, y'all don't have it bad. Y'all do not have it that bad. I'm not going to my spiel of why. But just Falcons just be very grateful that y'all got to play in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
You know, about you to win a playoff game or host a home playoff game, let alone play for a Super Bowl and blow the largest lead in history. You ever seen that? So I don't want to hear nothing about y'all. Oh, I'm hurt and I need to get a ring before I buy something. Be appreciative that your team can give you home playoff games. I haven't seen one of them in my lifetime, let alone a playoff win. So be very grateful, Tyrik.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
Start complaining.
Let me tell you, I was literally about to turn into, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I was about to turn into a Saints fan earlier this year.
No.
And the reason, but see, everybody don't know why. So the reason
reason why. What do you mean?
There is a reason. So listen.
What is the reason?
So listen, earlier, I'm about to slide my headphones out. But no, earlier in the year, in January, I went to the Pro Bowl in Orlando. And I met Drew Brees, and I met him on the field and stuff, and met some of the other Saints players and stuff. And they was like really nice, calm and collected and stuff. And they was, I was like, hey, can I get an interview with you, Mr. Drew Brees? And he was like, yeah, sure. I'll give you an interview and stuff. And then him and then his running back and a whole other Saints players on the team gave me an interview. I ain't got no Falcons interviews.
Yeah, because there wasn't no Falcons there because they were awful last year.
No, I'm talking about Falcon interviews, period. I done tried to get interviews, and everybody knows that I like to interview. I call myself the interview king.
Oh my God.
We know.
But literally, come on now, I'm here in Atlanta and I can't get the interviews, but I gotta go out of state to get these interviews, and the Saints was nice.
Tyrik, that is literally the worst excuse I've ever heard for changing your fan.
I mean,
literally the worst. Someone was nice to me, so I'm gonna be a fan.
Sorry.
They gave me an interview, so I'm gonna be a fan.
Yeah.
You grew up in Atlanta. You've been in Atlanta your entire life, right?
That's
You've
right.
You've always been a Falcons fan.
Born and raised.
No matter what, you've always been a fan. And so somebody being nice to you is gonna be the reason you change your fan. Not because my team sucks, or not because my team can't win a big game. That's not why, right? It's the reason why. Which is why I always look at people crazy when they say that people are going to be done with the Lions because they played Matthew Stafford. What? They've won one playoff game since 1957. And the reason you're going to stop being a fan is because they traded Matthew Stafford, who's won what? What has he ever won in life? Nothing. But that's the reason you're going to stop being a fan? People, no.
Okay, so
I have other reasons.
You ride with your team, Tyrik. Do not become a Saints fan because Drew Brees gave you an interview. Just saying.
Okay.
So I guess just for our audience's sake, Christian, why don't you go ahead and explain your allegiance?
My allegiance, yeah. I'm hold on. My allegiance. Right, that right there is my allegiance. Born and raised, Detroit. What up, though? So, unfortunately, Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Michigan, all of it. Not very, very, very tough times right now, man. All of our teams suck. So, not good. But you know what? Unlike some people, I don't switch my fandom because people are nice to me. You know what I'm saying? I ride my teams to the very end. You feel me? So I'm keep sticking it out, man. I've seen the championship with the Pistons. I've seen the Red Wings get a couple. Seen the Tigers play for some and get swept. But you know what? That's part of the game, man. Michigan can't beat Ohio State, but every Sunday after Thanksgiving, I go sit on the TV to watch a bloodbath. That's a part of the fandom. But you know what? The good thing is we don't have college football this year. I might have to sit there and watch it. I might actually get to have a nice Saturday after Thanksgiving this year.
There's looking up on the bright side, I suppose.
There is, yeah.
Well, piggybacking off of that, away from the idea of good or bad uniforms, but some news came out. You guys might have heard it. A guy known as Tom Brady signed with the Buccaneers. So now that makes Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Matt Ryan, and probably not Cam Newton, but
no, he's gone.
Oh, is he? Okay, actually didn't know that. But so that makes for 3 MVPs in one league. So what do you guys think if we do have, say we do have an NFL season, what do you guys think that division might look like?
It's going to be competitive, It is going to be competitive. I mean, you got three, elite quarterbacks. I mean, they going to battle it out, and then, waiting to see what happens with Carolina. Who knows who they might, pick up as quarterback. But, I mean, just looking at Tom Brady, I mean, everybody knows what he's done. I mean, you can take a look at his stats, and he's pretty elite. And then, I just think that they just need it's going to be very competitive. Everybody's going to be battling out, and I don't see anybody creating a big gap within the division. I see it being very close, probably going to be a 1 to 2 game difference within the division, depending on, how people play and stuff. But I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing it. And, if Tom Brady, Tom has been to Atlanta to play the Falcons a few times, but, I look forward to possibly going to that game. Maybe I'll see.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Sorry. You got to do some research. So what was the division? Saints ran away with the division last year. What was the division? How much did they win the division by last year?
You said how much did the Saints win?
How many games did they win the division by last year?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up, and so I'm gonna let you know. And that's gonna come on my next point.
Okay.
I still see the Saints just being the better team as all.
Thank you.
I mean,
the point is, like, everybody talking about Tom Brady and Falcons have like so many former first round picks on their roster, but like, what have they really done that's really changed the division in a dramatic way? The Saints were 13 last year. The Falcons were 7-9. We got the draft coming up, so maybe the draft will help. I don't have faith in Thomas Dimitroff. I'm just saying that. But
no.
The Falcons haven't done anything like major to really improve their roster to get closer to the Saints. And then if I look at the Bucks, listen, Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. But he's 42 years old. So excuse me if I don't want to buy in just yet on Tom Brady being a guy that's going to win the Bucks a division. Will they compete for a playoff spot? Maybe, because they're adding a 7th spot. So they'll definitely compete for a playoff spot. They have some good weapons. But I got to see 42-year-old Brady do it first. We don't have to worry about the Panthers. They're out of it. But depending on what the Falcons in the draft, I know they added Todd Gurley, but he's a huge question mark with that knee. Arthritis in the knee hasn't been the same for the past couple of years now. They added Dante Fowler, which is a good addition, but they don't have a number 1 cornerback. They have to draft one. The D-line still suspect up the middle and on the edge. Linebacker, they have Deion Jones. They let go of Devondre Campbell, so they don't have an outside linebacker there. And the offense, Matt Ryan couldn't even stand up last year because he was getting sacked every time he dropped back the pass. So, like, there are a lot of holes. Like, I can't really say it's going to be a 1 to 2 division, 1 to 2, stand like gap, because just face it, like, the Saints are clearly the best team in the division, and they added Emmanuel Sanders, another weapon for Drew Brees on offense. So, and this is Drew Brees' last year, whether they want to say it or not. He signed a TV deal, NBC. He retired, so they're going all out this year. So Drew Brees is last year. I'm going with the Saints again. They're going to take this by a couple of games. I don't see it being that close. I think it'll be close for number 2, maybe, but the race for number 1 is like pretty insane.
I don't think I'm going to be honest. I don't think the Aints is going to be that good this year, to be honest with you. I mean, hey, they got Drew Brees and stuff. But they've been good. They was good last year. They was good the year before. I mean, it's somebody else's turn now. I don't look at it as like, picking, who go up. But the way I'm looking at it is, to be honest with you, I think it's either going to be the Bucks or the Falcons to be in first place.
And tell me why you think that. Just tell me why you think it. That's all.
Why I think that? I mean, to be honest, Tom Brady, going on to the Bucks, and I think if the Bucks, give him some weapons.
42.
I mean, it don't matter if he's 42. I mean, he's elite. So age matters. But I mean, if he's elite, he's elite.
He's a what?
He's elite. I think he's an elite quarterback.
I can't, bro. Can't do it.
I mean, well, that's fine.
Tom Brady's not elite at this point in his career. He's an above average quarterback. He's better than most guys, but to say he's elite, I don't know. They relied on their run game a lot in New England, which opened things up for him. He had 4,000 yards last year, 24 touchdowns, 8 picks.
Will
But
you at least say that he's better than Jameis Winston?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
outside of
he had the
interceptions, Jameis Winston wasn't that bad. I mean, he threw for like 5,000 yards and like 30
Other
touchdowns.
than 30 interceptions, though.
Okay,
Yeah, he
I'm
had
saying,
the
but
most
outside of interceptions, he
interceptions.
wasn't that bad. But I mean,
He was terrible.
Brady isn't an above average quarterback. I just want to say he's a leader this point.
Oh, well, I mean,
But I mean, you know, he's. We'll see. I don't think they're gonna win the league though.
but to pick back up on that when you was talking about Todd Gurley, I think Todd, you know, I feel like he might do a little something. He's gonna do a whole lot better than Freeman. I know that. But I mean, you know, because Freeman, I mean, he just wasn't it, to be honest. Like, I mean, he was good at first, you know, when he first came, but then he just kind of started slipping down. So I think Todd Gurley might be a pretty good move, but I mean, we just have to see, you know, what happens, and you know, if the O-line is, you know, blocking good. I mean, it depends on a lot of factors, but I mean, I see Todd having a good season though.
Yeah, we'll see. They gotta limit his workload like heavy. He can't go out there and run the ball 200 times a game. They gotta draft a running back in the draft to kind of take some of the pressure off time if he wants to be successful.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. If you guys have any last things to say, we're about to wrap up here.
I just want to shout out. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
No, go ahead.
I just want to shout out to all these people. I'm on the YouTube, so I'm seeing all these comments and stuff. Everybody tuning in. So yeah.
Oh, the comments! Wow. Hold on.
Yeah, we got a lot of comments. Shout out to everybody who watching and stuff.
Let's ask them. Well, I guess if people have questions, maybe we can answer a few questions.
Let's see. Wow, someone wants our autograph. Who would that be?
Somebody said, "Can I have y'all virtual autographs?" Of course.
Sure, let's talk about the Lions. No one wants to talk about the Lions. No, we're not going to talk about the Lions, guys. We're not going to do that. They suck. We're not going to talk about them. It's cool though. It's actually a lot of fun with this.
What are they saying?
Kara said, "Can we have virtual autographs?" No, we can. Well, you can have Tyrik's.
Yeah, you can get my autograph. I got
not
you.
mine.
I got you.
Tyrik already has his printed out, just ready to hand out.
He does.
Yeah, I mean, y'all know how I do, so I'm always ready. But yeah.
Well, all right.
Yeah, the viewers are into it.
They are.
Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me in the first episode of the PRN Sports Podcast. You guys had a lot of insightful opinions of different, insightful. We'll say that.
Hey, but listen, I was the beauty of sports is everyone can argue and everyone has an opinion. So, like, it's beautiful. Me and Tyrik disagreed a lot, but it's all good, That's what happened.
Yeah.
And I want to thank our viewers for hanging out with us, giving us some questions and whatnot, listening to our opinions. But yeah, we'll be back next week for the second installment of the PRN Sports Podcast. I thank you guys again for coming out, and that'll do it for us.
Yeah. Practice social distancing.
Yes, do that.
Wear a mask. Wear gloves.
Definitely.
All right. Stay safe.